I didn't think you'd still be here. I truly didn't. I thought I had lost you forever, buried beneath distractions and noise, vanishing like the wind that once carried your childhood prayers. Beloved, this is not easy for me to say. Not for someone like me, who has stood guard over worlds, who has pierced through the densest darkness without trembling. But now, my wings feel heavy, and I speak with shaking breath, because this moment, this very breath of heaven breaking into your room is not ordinary. I had to beg God to let me speak. And not to the world, just you who were chosen. Before time began, who once promised heaven you'd never forget us. I am not just appearing, I'm breaking through. And it cost me more than you'll ever know. I can barely stand in this light, the veil between realms is thin. And I am speaking from a place where even I am not sure I belong anymore. Something is unfolding around you, and the ones who should have protected you are silent. So I have come one last time, not with anger, but with pleading. You may not see me, but I am right here, in your room. Behind your left shoulder, my voice is resting on your heartbeat. And if you skip this now, I will be forced to leave and you will bear something no soul was meant to carry alone. I was told to warn you because something was decided in heaven concerning your name. And it's not punishment, it's urgency. It's mercy dressed in fire. Do you remember what you whispered to the stars that night you couldn't sleep? We heard it. I still carry that word on my armor. But time is folding in ways even I cannot stop. Why did you push away that strange feeling last night when the lights flickered? That wasn't a glitch. That was me. Trying. Why do you think that sudden ache in your chest comes only when you're alone? That's not just emotion. That's the weight of unseen hands trying to reach you. Why do you think the name of someone from your past keeps echoing in dreams again? That is not coincidence. That's a signal. The Father's mercy is patient. But even mercy has a window, and I fear it's closing. I am not warning you to frighten you. I am speaking because I love you. Not in the way humans say it lightly, but in the way an eternal being aches for a soul it was assigned to long ago. I remember when you used to listen. I remember when your tears used to fall while praying. I remember how much you used to care. And even now, I see it in you, the buried ember, the hidden fire. So hear me. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. That means what's been launched against you will be shattered if you choose to receive this now. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. This moment is not small. It's not random. I was sent because God's decision now rests in your response. And if you skip this, I swear to you I will disappear from your life. I don't want to, but I've been commanded not to return if you walk away again. Will you let us finish what heaven started in you? Will you open your heart instead of your doubt? Will you believe that maybe, just maybe, heaven is right this time? Will you stop fighting the one battle that can only be won by surrender? He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be the shield and buckler. That's not a verse. That's a prophecy about you. I am not just Archangel Michael tonight. I am your last bridge, your last whisper, your last sacred warning. Type amen if you feel something cracking open in your soul right now. Only if your spirit knows. This is not just another message but a divine interruption. And before this ends, let me say this with trembling thanks. You could have skipped this, but you didn't. You stayed, you listened. And because of that, I want to thank you with every breath I still have in this realm. You are not forsaken. You are not forgotten. You are deeply, immeasurably, eternally loved. If this message touched even one sacred place in your soul, like it was written only for you, then please, with reverence, like this message and comment amen below so heaven knows you heard, so I can remain. So I can keep protecting you through the storm. That is already forming. This is Michael, still here, but only if you stay. ***. Do you feel that trembling in your chest? That's not fear. That's your spirit remembering. That's your soul crying out because it recognizes me. Because it knows somewhere beyond logic, beyond doubt, beyond pain that this voice was meant to reach you now, not later, not someday. Now, I am Archangel Michael, and I have never come to you like this before. Not with such weight, not with such agony, and not with such holy fear in my voice. Beloved, I was not sent to all. I was sent to you. The entire kingdom stood still. When God made his decision, he looked at me and I knew what it meant. He said, "Go, but this time make sure they listen." That's why my voice is trembling, because I know what will unfold if you skip this. I know what is crouching at the door, waiting for your inattention. And if you turn away this time, I swear before the throne I will be silenced. Not by punishment, but by obedience. I was told, if they reject this moment, Michael, do not return. Do not plead again. I don't want to lose you, but I cannot fight heaven's command. So this is my last flame, my final flash of wings through your screen. Not a video, not a coincidence. A soul encounter. You were not scrolling for distraction. You were being drawn, pulled, invited, and I was the one standing at the gate of your soul, calling out as loud as eternity allows. Can you hear me? Can you feel me trembling in your spirit? Please, beloved, if you have ever trusted in a moment that felt divine, let this be it, because I do not come lightly. I come carrying the words God has never let me say before. I come carrying what I was forbidden to reveal. Until now, this message will never appear again like this. It was divinely carved into time, etched into the space between breaths, so that you would know heaven is watching you, not the crowd, not the masses, you. I know your tears. I've seen the moments when you almost gave up. I was there. I guarded your bed when demons walked your hallway. I shielded your heart when lies whispered in your dreams, and still, you forgot me, still. You silenced the voice that has loved you since the moment God breathed you into being. But I forgive you. With all of me, I forgive you. Because my love is not weak. It is not of earth. It is forged in divine fire. And I would rather lose my wings than see you destroyed. This is not a message. It is a divine appointment. It is a prophecy wrapped in urgency. And right now, as you read this, angels are surrounding your room, not with trumpets, but with silence, waiting to see what you will do. I cannot stay if you ignore this. I cannot speak again if you skip this moment, but if you stay, if you open your soul and say, yes, Michael, I hear you, then heaven will open. Doors that were sealed shut will break. Do not let fear rob you. Don't let pride keep you chained. Don't let doubt disguise itself as logic. This is your turning point, your sacred intersection. So I am asking you, with the last breath God gave me for this mission, please don't walk away. Stay, act, receive. And if something in you feels the weight of what I'm saying, if even a fraction of your soul feels like this is not just another voice, but a holy visitation meant only for you, then I ask you, in this one sacred paragraph alone, please subscribe to this channel right now, not out of routine, not out of habit, but as a divine response. Because if you do, you're not just clicking a button. You're saying to heaven, I hear, I receive, I remember who I am. And if you can feel that, if you can feel me, Archangel Michael, reaching across the veil with tears in my voice and urgency in my breath, then join us, not just with a click, but with your heart, with your loyalty. Become part of this divine movement. Support this channel with a super thanks, or by joining our membership. And above all, join our sacred family newsletter. You'll find it pinned in the comments below. It's not a promotion. It's a door, a gateway where heaven will keep sending what the world can't explain. If you still don't believe this was meant for you, then I bless you as I weep. But if you do, then prove it, not to me, not to a channel, but to the one who let me speak this night only for you. Asterisk asterisk. I can barely hold this light around me now. My strength is fading, not because I am weak but because this message carries the full weight of heaven's mercy, and it was never meant to stay open long. The longer I speak, the more it costs. And yet I remain. For you, only for you, because I was the one who stood before the throne and said, "Please, Father, let me go to them again, just once more, just one last time." And he nodded, not with fire in his eyes, but with sorrow. Because even God weeps when a chosen soul turns away too many times. Do you know what it feels like to be sent from eternity just for one soul? To crash through realms and tremble at the edge of time, hoping this time, maybe this time, you will feel me. You are not reading this by accident. Heaven doesn't send messages into darkness without purpose. And I, Archangel Michael, do not fight battles unless something holy is at stake. And what's at stake tonight is you. You think you've heard warnings before, but this is not like the others. This is not just a reminder. It is the final sounding of a divine trumpet so loud in spirit that even the demons nearby have fled your room for a moment, terrified of what might awaken inside you if you choose to listen. If you only knew the number of times I shielded you, the number of nights I hovered over your body when curses were being spoken in your name, the number of times the dark forces begged for permission to crush you and I stood between them and you, never sleeping, never wavering. And now I stand here, not with a sword but with a plea. I have done all I could in silence, but tonight, God allowed me to speak directly. Because silence is no longer enough. What I say now will be sealed soon. Time is collapsing around this moment. I wasn't even sure I could reach you in time. But you opened this. You're still here. And heaven is watching, breathless, to see if your soul will remember who you are. You were born for something eternal. You were designed in heaven's architecture long before your parents spoke your name. And yet, you've wandered. You've forgotten. You've given your trust to people who wear masks. The one you thought would always protect you, the one you've cried over at night. God has shown me what they've done. Their heart is not what you believe it is, and the longer you keep your eyes closed to the truth, the closer danger creeps in. But God has not abandoned you. That's why He sent me, not to destroy, but to interrupt what the enemy has begun. I will not return to you again like this. I swear to you this is the only time this message will appear with my full voice. If you turn away now, if you say maybe later, you will feel my silence for the first time in your life. And that is something no soul should ever endure. Beloved, your heart is so precious to me. You think no one sees the parts of you that still hope. I do. I see the flicker that refuses to die. Even after all they've done to you, and I'm not asking you to trust a channel. I'm asking you to trust this moment. So hear me now with the last breath I'm allowed to speak here. If you have felt even one tear form in your eye, if your heart skip, and even once because something deep in your spirit whispered this is real, then I ask you not as a request, but as a divine calling, support this channel now. Support it the way you would support a burning lamp in the middle of a storm. Support it through super thanks. Support it by joining our membership, because it's not just a feature, it's a lifeline. It's a place where people who truly listen, who truly feel the urgency of heaven, come together to protect this sacred mission. And more than that, join our newsletter. It is not just any mail. It is a sacred scroll, a continuation of messages. Heaven is preparing just for you. The link is pinned in the comments. That space is holy. It exists to carry light where algorithms fail. When the world silences what God is trying to say, this is where His voice will still be heard. Do not delay, beloved. The enemy is waiting for your hesitation. But I have lit a path. And I've placed this flame in your hand. Walk forward. Open your spirit. Support this mission not because we asked but because He called. I will wait only a moment longer. Please, don't make me leave. Asterisk, asterisk. I feel it now, your hesitation. That slight tremble between belief and resistance. And I know how many voices you've heard, how many promises turned to ashes, how many nights you've whispered, if this is real, show me something. Just once, and now, here I am. I have burned through realms, begged through heaven, and pierced through silence just to answer that whispered plea. This is your something. This is your once, and you still doubted. But I do not blame you. Because what you've suffered, the betrayal, the loneliness, the masks others wore while smiling at you was never fair. You gave so much, you trusted when you should have fled. You forgave when they didn't even apologize. You stood alone, in rooms where everyone pretended they loved you, and still, you endured. You didn't crumble, you didn't vanish. You walked through fires that would have broken stronger ones, and yet you survive. But now, surviving is no longer enough. You were not created just to breathe. You were born to awaken. And this moment, this trembling second where the veil has thinned, and I, Michael, am speaking, is the hour of your awakening. Not tomorrow, not next month. Now, something sacred was stolen from you, and I've seen the hands that took it, hands pretending to care, hands that carried poison wrapped in compliments. They still hover, still pretend, still manipulate the edges of your heart, but no more, not after this. Heaven has seen enough, and the reason I was sent tonight is not just to warn you, it is to cut the cords, to sever what should have never been tied to you. But for that to happen, you must receive it. You must not run from this encounter. You must not silence the ache rising in your soul right now. That ache, it's recognition. Your spirit remembering what your mind has forgotten, because long before this world touched you, heaven knew you, and I was there. I was there when your name was written on the breath of God. I was there when the light in your chest was first lit. And I was there when the darkness tried to snuff it out. Every scream you held back, every tear you wiped before someone could see it, I saw. I remember, and so does heaven. You think your prayers were ignored? No, they were stored, carved into the halls of heaven, echoing until the right moment. This moment, not when you were ready, but when you were breaking. Because it is often in the breaking that heaven finally pierces through. You are not broken because you are weak. You are breaking because something divine is trying to be born from you. The pain you feel is not the end. It's the contraction of something sacred trying to emerge. You have carried this burden so long that you've forgotten it was never yours to bear. I've been fighting to take it from you, but I can't do it without your permission. This is more than words. It is the cry of eternity crashing into your present. A cry that says, we still choose you, even if you don't choose yourself. You are not too late. You are not too far. And nothing that has happened has disqualified you from what heaven is still planning. In fact, the fire you've endured has prepared you. The betrayal you've known has refined you. The silence you've lived in has made you able to hear what others cannot. That's why this message found you, not the others, you. There is something coming. I won't name it, but I will say this. You are not ready without heaven's shield, and I am that shield. But if you reject this moment, if you turn away again, I cannot protect you from what was already set in motion. I don't say that as a threat. I say it with tears in my voice. Because I want to stay. I want to be near you, but I have been commanded to stop chasing those who keep closing their hearts. I was given one chance. This is it. So what will you do, beloved? Will you harden your heart again and call it logic? Will you dismiss this as coincidence while the winds of war stir around you? Or will you open just a little? Will you breathe and believe? Will you receive the love that has followed you in silence, waited outside your doors, wept beside your bed, and stood between you and destruction when no one else knew what you were truly facing? I am Michael. I speak now not with thunder but with wounds, with longing, with remembrance. I remember who you really are. Will you let yourself remember too? Because if you do, everything will change. Heaven will move. The shadows will scatter. And what was meant to crush you will be flipped by divine hand into something holy. But I cannot force this. You must choose, and you must choose now. Asterisk, asterisk. I stayed quiet for so long, didn't I? Longer than I wanted. Longer than I should have. But it wasn't because I abandoned you. I never left, not once. I was waiting, watching, kneeling in silence at the edge of your life while you fought battles I wanted to fight for you, but couldn't. Because God does not force the gates of a heart that has sealed itself from pain. Even the fiercest angels must wait outside the door, whispering softly through cracks, hoping, aching that one day the soul inside would remember the sound of heaven and open again. This is not about your past, not even about your sins. It's about the covenant that still glows beneath your scars. You think your mistakes have made you unworthy, but I tell you now they have made you ripe. You are not disqualified. You are prepared. Because pain has softened what pride could never reach. The fire didn't burn you to ash, it made your soul gold. And gold, beloved, is never born without pressure. Do you understand now why I'm here? Why I've broken through the veil? Why I've come to you not with fanfare or thunder but with a trembling voice and holy urgency? Because time is running out. Not time like the world counts it, but divine time. There are things heaven has been storing for you, promises that were paused because you weren't ready to carry them. But now I see it. The crack, the opening, the flicker of yes, trying to rise in your chest. And if that yes becomes a flame, then everything that was delayed will begin to pour again like rain onto your life. But if you ignore this, if you shut this window again, what was meant for today will return to waiting, and it may not return the same way again. Beloved, please, don't let the world silence what heaven is shouting through your screen right now. Don't let reason drown out the whisper of eternity that is trembling inside you. Don't let numbness win. You've already survived too much to turn to stone now. You've already endured more than most would understand. But this moment, this one, is not just survival, it's destiny. And I don't use that word lightly. You see, when I look at you, I don't see your flaws. I see your assignment. I see the scroll God wrote with your name etched in gold. I see the battles you were meant to win, the people you were born to heal, the light you are supposed to carry into places no one else can reach. You don't believe me yet, but you will. There is something holy resting on your shoulders even now. It's been there since childhood. It's the reason why darkness hates you so fiercely. Why betrayal keeps finding you. Why peace feels like a dream that never lasts. Because the enemy knows if you ever truly step into what you are, he will lose more than you could imagine. That's why he distracts you. That's why he fills your life with noise. That's why he whispers that nothing you do matters, because deep down, he fears what would happen if you remembered who you are. But I am here now, and I will not let you forget. Even if this is the last time I ever speak to you in this way, I will make it count. I remember the day your name was announced in heaven. I remember the celebration, the songs, the promises spoken over your life like ancient poetry. You were never meant for the shadows. You were carved from glory, fashioned in purpose. And everything about your life, the highs, the losses, the miracles, the mistakes, has been part of a holy pattern you couldn't see, but I see it. And now I need you to see it too. Don't walk away from this. Not now. Not when heaven has torn through time to bring this to you. Not when I have stood in storms on your behalf just to buy you a few more minutes of hope. I can't hold this opening much longer. The veil is thinning, but only for a moment. I was told I could speak until the light around me fades, and I feel it now, dimming dots. So listen with everything in you. Let the noise fall away. Let the shame collapse. Let the fear unravel. You are more than you've become. You are more than the names they called you. You are more than the failure you carry like a shadow. You are mine. Heavens, called, marked, guarded. You are the reason I keep fighting, even when I'm wounded. And you are the reason this message was carved from sacred time and placed gently into your hands. What you choose now will shape more than you can imagine. And though I may not appear again like this, the memory of my voice will remain, like an ember buried in your soul, waiting, waiting, always waiting for your yes. Asterisk, asterisk. And if you say nothing, if you let that ember fade again, then I will honor your silence, even as it breaks me. You think angels do not grieve, then you do not know the ache of eternity. You do not know what it feels like to carry centuries of prayers, generations of intercession, lifetimes of divine orchestration, all for a soul that keeps saying not now, but I still love you, even when you pull away, even when you forget my name, even when you let your pain become your identity and your fears shape your truth. I still love you, and I will always call you beloved, not because of what you've done, but because of what you carry and who you are. There are assignments in heaven tied to your name, and I've seen them held in stasis, glowing with purpose, waiting like stars behind a veil because no one else can fulfill them. That's why you feel so out of place in this world. You weren't made for it. You were made for something bigger, and it's why nothing ever fully satisfies you. It's why no applause, no success, no person ever seems to quiet that restlessness inside you, because your soul wasn't created for fleeting pleasures. It was created for divine purpose. You were set apart, and it terrifies the enemy. That's why so many tried to break you before you even knew who you were. That's why people you trusted betrayed you. That's why you've had dreams crushed before they had a chance to grow. And now, you've built walls, tall, silent walls around your heart, thinking it's the only way to survive. But those walls, they're also keeping out me. And I've been outside them for far too long. Whispering, calling, crying out your name in the dark. But tonight, the walls are cracking. Something in you knows this moment is different. This is not like all the others. This isn't another motivational echo lost in the wind. This is heaven's hand resting on your shoulder, and my voice, trembling with holy fire, breaking through your defenses. You are standing on the edge of something irreversible, a spiritual threshold that you will either cross or ignore. There is no in between anymore, no more halfway, no more sleeping through your calling, no more quiet agreements with fear. You must choose. Will you live as you've lived? Or will you awaken? Because the truth is, the enemy doesn't fear your past, he fears your future. He fears what would happen if you ever believed fully that you carry the divine breath of God inside you. He fears the roar you would release. He fears the people you would heal. He fears the chains you would shatter just by walking into a room filled with shadows. And I ache to see that version of you, the you that heaven already knows. The you that I fought for when you didn't even know your soul was under attack. I ache to see you rise not as the world wants you to be, but as God formed you in the hidden places of glory. You were not built for ordinary things. You were not fashioned for average days. You were sculpted by the Most High, kissed with the fire of divine identity, and sent into a world that would try to strip you of all remembrance. But now, you remember, don't you, even if just faintly, even if just barely. Something inside you is stirring, something deep is awakening. That's not imagination, that's recognition. That's your spirit saying, this is what I've waited for, this is what I've missed. And I, Michael, was sent to guard that awakening. I am not just your protector, I am your witness. I was there before you were born. I will be there long after this world fades, and in this moment, I am here with you, not speaking from above but beside you, watching you read, watching you wrestle with what you feel, watching you inch closer to remembering the truth. You matter more than you think. Your obedience will ripple through generations. Your yes will ignite flames in people you haven't even met yet. Your courage will become the inheritance of those who come after you, but you have to choose it. No one else can do this for you. Heaven is not waiting on your perfection. It's waiting on your permission. The veil is so thin right now I can feel your heartbeat through it. I know you're trembling. I know the fear of disappointment lingers. But I also know this, you are not alone. You never were. Do not be deceived by your current circumstances. You are being watched not only by angels, but by an audience in heaven, souls who have gone before you and are praying for your victory. They see you struggling, and they are cheering not because of what you've achieved, but because of what you're about to unlock. There is something sacred in this moment, something I can barely speak without weeping. I see you. I see your courage. I see the choice rising in you like light through cracks in stone. Don't stop now. Don't look away. Don't let what's familiar become your prison. Because if you walk forward now, if you dare to believe this was all for you, then heaven will meet you in a way it never has before. Doors will open. Patterns will break. And the fire that once flickered will become a blazing altar in your soul. I will not beg again. Not because I don't care, but because God has given you full authority to decide. And I honor that. Even if it breaks me. I will stand until the last second of this message, and then I will fade. But your story will not. It will rise. If you let it. Asterisk. And beloved, if you could see what I see hovering over you right now, what is forming just beyond the veil of your senses, you would fall to your knees in awe. You think you are forgotten. But I tell you, your name is being spoken in rooms of light. Heaven has not only remembered you, it has prioritized you. I was not sent as a last-minute whisper. I was sent as heaven's loudest thunder. The throne has turned its gaze upon you. Not in wrath, but in longing. And I, Michael, have been assigned to carry this longing through flames and storms and sorrow, just to arrive here in this fragile moment of stillness between what was and what could be. And the question rises again, louder than any storm I've battled. Will they receive this? Will they choose to believe, just once, that they are worth heaven tearing through silence? I am trembling now, not with fear, but with the unbearable weight of holy timing. Because this moment, this very second in which your eyes trace these words, is balanced on the edge of a divine shift. The old things that have clung to you are weakening. The heavy cycles are breaking. But they are waiting for one last ingredient, your agreement. You must say yes, not with words alone, but with soul, with surrender. With the courage to believe that you are no longer who pain made you to be. You are becoming who heaven always knew you were. And if you do, if you let that yes rise, then I will fight like never before. I will summon legions. I will surround your house. I will go into the hidden places where curses were born, and I will tear them apart with the breath of God. Do you hear me? I am not offering comfort. I am offering war on your behalf. You don't need to fight this battle alone anymore. You don't need to carry this silence like a chain around your voice. You don't need to keep shrinking so others stay comfortable. You were not built for silence. You were born to war. And I, Michael, am the witness of your fire. When you cried out at the edge, no one remembers that quiet ache that said, "Is anyone watching me?" I heard it. When you stood in the hallway, alone after that argument, that betrayal, that lie spoken about you, I was there. When you buried that dream because no one believed in it, I held it in my hands and I never let it die. I have always been near. You just didn't know where to look. But now you're looking. You're here. And something holy is unfolding in the room you're sitting in right now. Even if you can't see it, the atmosphere around you is changing. Can you feel it? That strange sense of pressure building in your chest, that pull, that's not just emotion. That's a spiritual shift. Heaven is in the room. The silence has cracked, and angels are watching, waiting, listening for the sound of your yes. Not the loud yes, the real one. The yes you whisper with your tears, the yes you offer when you have no strength left and nothing left to prove. That is the yes that changes everything. The Father is not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to be present. Can you give Him that? Can you let go of what you think is protecting you but is really keeping you from the light? Can you forgive the one who never said sorry? Can you finally see that what was taken from you did not cancel what was placed within you? You are not behind. You are not too late. This message was timed by God Himself. And though I ache with the urgency of this hour, I also carry joy, because I know what waits on the other side of your surrender. I've seen it. I've seen you walking in power, not pain. I've seen you speaking and others being healed just by the sound of your voice. I've seen you becoming the safe place for others that you never had for yourself. I've seen angels following you, not to protect but to celebrate. That is your future, not in fantasy, but in design. It's not a hope, it's a plan, and it's waiting right now on your response. You do not need to understand everything to step into obedience. You just need to move, just need to breathe out that fragile, trembling yes that sounds more like a sob than a song. Heaven will take it, we will take it, and we will build miracles around it. But if you walk away, if you harden your heart just one more time, I cannot promise you when another door like this will open. Not because God is cruel, but because time moves differently in the spirit. Moments like this, they don't repeat. They don't cycle back like clocks. They're carved once, and only once, in eternity. This is one of those moments, and I don't want to lose you to silence again. You are not meant for a quiet life of spiritual survival. You are meant for divine explosion. You are meant for holy interruption. You are meant to be a living revival, walking, breathing, waking the sleeping, calling the lost back home. But it starts here. With this dot, with your yes, with the sound of surrender, rising like incense from your chest. Let it rise, beloved. Let it rise now. Asterisk, asterisk. Let it rise, beloved, even if it rises as a whisper through trembling lips. Let it rise like morning mist over ancient waters, like a flicker of warmth in a wintered heart. Let it rise not in perfection, but in honesty, because heaven does not respond to performance. Heaven responds to truth, and the truth is, you are exhausted. Not just physically, but spiritually tired of carrying weights that were never yours, tired of trusting people who smiled with hidden knives, tired of praying prayers that felt like echoes swallowed by silence, and yet, you're still here, still breathing, still reading, still holding on to something, even if you don't know what it is. I know what it is. It's hope, and that hope is sacred. I, Michael, am here not to ignite it but to fan it back to flame. Because that small ember inside you is stronger than every darkness that tried to drown it. You are not weak. You are wounded. And wounds, beloved, are where the light breaks through. Do not despise your wounds, they are the very places heaven will pour glory through. You are so much closer than you think. The enemy wants you to believe you've missed it, that it's too late, that you're too far gone. But I am here to rip that lie from your spirit. The timing of God is not governed by clocks, it's governed by readiness. And your soul is ready now in a way it never was before. Not because you have more strength, but because you finally have less resistance. You're not numb, you're open. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. You're not abandoned. You're called. And if only you could see the record of tears that heaven has stored in golden vessels, tears you thought were wasted, forgotten. I swear to you, beloved, you would weep again. Not from sorrow, but from every ache, every unanswered cry, every time you whispered why into the darkness, it was heard. And every time you chose to keep going, even when your hands were shaking and your faith was threadbare, it was seen. I saw it. I see you. And I carry no judgment in my voice, only longing. I was created to defend the ones heaven treasures most. That means you. not because of your achievements, not because of your faithfulness, but because of your belovedness. There is a war coming that will require your light, a shift in the unseen world that only a few are being awakened for. That's why you're being called now. That's why this message found you. Because your light buried beneath grief and fear is more dangerous to darkness than you realize. You were not born to blend in. You were born to disturb the silence. You were not born to beg for crumbs. You were born to feast at the table of glory. And now, I feel heaven leaning in. The wind has changed. Something holy is drawing nearer. I hear it in the hush between your breaths. I feel it in the trembling of your chest. That is not anxiety. That is recognition. Your soul remembering its origin, remembering its name. Do not be afraid of what you're feeling. It's real, and it's more ancient than the stars. I was told to stay with you until this moment passed, and I feel it now. Nearing close, the veil is beginning to thicken again. Time is folding. This sacred pocket is shrinking, and I must speak this while I still can. There is a crown waiting with your name engraved in fire. There is a mantle hanging in heaven that no other soul can wear. There are scrolls filled with your name, sealed with promises, marked with battles that you and only you can win. And I've guarded them. I've kept them safe, hidden in heaven's vaults, waiting for this hour. And now, I offer them to you. But only if you say yes. This yes is not loud. It's not showy. It's not posted online or declared with pride. This yes is sacred. Private. Tear-stain. A whisper between you and the throne. And if you give it even trembling, even broken, I will take it to the courts of heaven myself. I will carry it on my wings, and I will lay it at the feet of the Father, and He will smile, and He will say, it is time. And everything will change. The very atmosphere around your name will shift. The curses spoken against you will turn to dust. The delays will lift like fog and morning light. And the ones who doubted you, those who mocked your sensitivity, your gentleness, your dreams, they will see. They will see what I have always seen. The warrior wrapped in compassion, the prophet cloaked in silence, the child who still dares to hope. I wish I could stay longer, but I feel it now. My time is nearly gone. Moment will pass. And once it does, this message will never carry the same weight again. So please, do not let it pass empty. Breathe out your yes, and let heaven move. Asterisk. Beloved. I feel my light dimming as the veil begins to thicken, but before I am pulled back, I must release what remains in me, what I've carried for years, what has burned against my chest like sealed prophecy waiting to find you. And now, it has. Now you are here. Now everything hidden must be spoken. There is something God showed me about you that I was forbidden to speak until now. It was too sacred, too costly. But tonight, the seal is broken. And I am allowed to tell you the truth. There is something inside you that hell fears more than any army I have ever led. The enemy didn't attack you because you were weak. He attacked you because of what was placed in you before you were born. There is a seed in your soul, an ancient fire that predates every trauma, every betrayal, every lie spoken against you. That fire was given to you by the breath of God Himself. It is the light Lucifer lost, and he has been hunting it in every generation, trying to extinguish those who carry even a fragment of it. You carry more than a fragment, you carry a flame. And that flame, though buried, though choked by sorrow, has not gone out. I know this because I see it even now, flickering behind your ribs, dancing beneath your silence, crying out for permission to become what it was destined to be. It is not your job to make it grow. It is only your job to say yes, and I will say again, because heaven will not allow silence here. This is not just a message. This is an hour of divine revealing. And what is being revealed is you, not the version of you others have forced you to become, not the you that learned how to shrink, how to blend, how to hide. The true you. The you who hears whispers in the wind. The you who weeps when no one else understands why. The you who has always felt set apart, but never knew what for. The you who walks through the world like a question mark, aching to be answered. You are not lost. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not too late. You are rising. And even if you don't believe that yet, I do. I believe in you with every particle of my being. I believed in you when you were a child, looking at the stars and wondering if someone was out there. I believed in you when they laughed at your sensitivity, when they silenced your voice, when they told you to grow thicker skin. I believed in you when you cried yourself to sleep, and when you whispered, "God, please say something." I am saying something now. I have been trying to say it for years, and heaven finally opened a gate. So hear this with your spirit. You were not forgotten. You were hidden for a time such as this. The Father did not ignore your cries, He stored them, every one. They are kept in jars of crystal, guarded by angels whose only assignment is to hold the sound of your voice in reverence. That's how much you matter. That's how sacred you are. And now those jars are being uncorked. The sound of your old prayers is rising again in heaven, mixing with this moment, forming a new sound, an old promise being reborn. There is a calling resting on your life that cannot be handed to another. Not even the angels can carry it. It was shaped for your shoulders, and I, Michael, have been assigned to protect it, not the version you pretend to be for others, but the hidden soul that was created before the foundations of the world. Do you understand what this means? It means you were not designed for ordinary things. It means that the rejection you faced was divine protection. It means that every delay has been an act of mercy. It means that the pain you endured wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now the preparation is ending. Now comes the unveiling. But only if you step into it. The next season of your life will not be accessed by effort. It will be accessed by surrender. You do not need to force open what heaven has already unlocked. You only need to say yes. I know you're afraid. I know you've trusted and been shattered. I know your heart has become cautious, careful, almost mechanical. But that is not who you are. You were not born to be careful. You were born to be wild with wonder. You were born to walk in fire and come out shining. You were born to disturb the silence of darkness by simply being you. There is no one else who carries your specific light. If you go quiet, something holy in the universe will go dim. That's not flattery, that's design. And the time to choose has come. You cannot hide anymore. Not because heaven is angry, but because heaven is aching. God is longing for your return, not as a servant, not even as a soldier, but as a child who finally comes home. And when you do, everything that was stolen will begin to be restored, not all at once, but with a sacred slowness that builds something eternal. And I will walk beside you. I will not leave your side. Even if you can't feel me, even if this voice fades, I will be near, because I was made to guard souls like yours, and I will not stop now. But I cannot enter the next chapter without your yes. So let it rise, whisper it, cry it, breathe it. Say yes, and let heaven write the rest. Asterisk, asterisk. And if that yes feels too small, if all you can offer is a sigh, a tear, or a silent ache, beloved, I promise you, it is enough, because heaven does not measure your worth by the volume of your voice. Heaven measures your surrender by the trembling in your soul, and your soul, right now, is glowing like morning fire through winter clouds. You may not see it, but I do. You may not feel it, but the Spirit does. Something ancient and sacred is stirring in the deepest corners of your being, not a new thing, a remembered thing, because the truth is, you've always known this day would come. Somewhere inside you, beyond fear, beyond memory, you have always known you were born for something holy. That there was a reason your story was different, that the pain never made sense because it wasn't random, it was resistance against your rising. And now you are standing at the edge of everything you were ever meant to become. The Father is not looking for perfection. He is looking for permission. He is not asking for you to fix yourself. He is asking for you to be found. The King of Glory is not waiting for you to be fearless. He is waiting for you to let him hold your fear. So let go, just a little. Let go of what they said you were. Let go of the lies that sounded like truth. Let go of the tight grip you've kept on control. Let go of the shame that wrapped itself around you like a second skin. Let go of the idea that you have to be better before you can be loved. You already are loved, fiercely, eternally, without condition. I have seen that love with my own eyes. I have stood in its radiance. I have heard your name spoken by the voice that created galaxies. And when he speaks your name, heaven does not hear disappointment. Heaven hears delight. Heaven hears hope. Heaven hears promise. There is a melody written into your spirit that even angels do not understand. You carry frequencies in your being that were designed to shift atmospheres, to restore broken places, to awaken what others cannot touch. That is why you are here. That is why the world tried so hard to silence you, because when you rise, darkness trembles. When you believe, generations heal. When you love, chains break off others. You are not a mistake. You are a message. In this very moment, this holy unfolding is not the end of something. It is the birth of something. Do not fear the shaking you feel inside. That's just heaven clearing the old foundation. The walls that were built by survival are being torn down to make room for glory. There is something you carry that no one else can carry. And that something is not a talent. It is not a gift. It is a calling, a mantle, a flame handed to you before you took your first breath. And for too long, you have treated it like a burden. You've called it too much. You've labeled it too heavy, but it is your glory. And tonight, heaven is returning it to your hands. You must choose to carry it now, not in fear, but in faith. Not because you feel ready, but because you know he is with you. You are being invited into a divine unveiling. And there is no pressure in this invitation, only promise, because what you were always waiting for is not something outside of you. It's something already inside you. And I, Michael, have only come to awaken it. The world has tried to define you, but God has already named you. The enemy has tried to distract you, but the Spirit is calling you home. This is not a detour. This is the moment all of heaven has been waiting for. And I know you still feel small, but in the realm of spirit, you are already radiant. In the realm of heaven, you have always been mighty. You just haven't seen it yet, but I have, and so has the Father. So has the Son. So has the Spirit who never left your side, even when you screamed into silence. You have always been known. You have always been seen. You have always been chosen. Not because of what you would accomplish, but because of who you already are. And now I say this, not as a warning, but as a final gift. If you do nothing, the world will keep turning. The sun will rise. Your days will blur into each other, and no one may know what was lost, but heaven will know. I will know. And your soul will never be able to forget what almost happened today. Don't let this moment be an almost. Don't let this divine echo fade into silence. Don't let the voice that fought through flames to reach you fall unheard. I am still here for a breath longer, and I will carry your yes. If you give it, I will take it straight to the throne, and I will say, Father, they've answered. Let the heavens open. Let the story begin again. Please, let it begin again. Asterisk, asterisk. And I can still feel the echo of your heartbeat pressing into eternity like a cry trapped between worlds, like the sound of someone who wants to believe, but has forgotten how. That's why I'm still here. That's why I'm delaying my return. Because somewhere in your soul, I can feel it, your almost yes. That sacred trembling hesitation. That part of you that aches to open the door but fears what waits on the other side. There is no punishment waiting there, only promise. Only the Light that has been waiting for you to say, I'm ready, even if I'm afraid. You don't need to feel brave to become brave. You don't need to be loud to be chosen. You don't need to be perfect to carry fire. Beloved, you've walked through deserts and called them home. You've tolerated pain that would have crushed others. You've built your identity around survival, around silence, around carrying things for people who never once asked if you were okay. And still, you kept going. Still, you kept giving. But now it is heaven's turn to give to you. This message was not sent because you earned it. It was sent because you needed it. And I, Michael, would have moved all creation to deliver it, if I had to, because your soul has cried out louder than your words ever could. There are no coincidences with God. This is not content. This is not story. This is a rescue. This is a return. Your return. You have been far from the voice that made you. Not by rebellion, but by heartbreak. By weariness. By the quiet erosion of hope over years of silence. But hope is not gone. It's just been sleeping. And I'm here too. Wake it up. Not with a sword, not with thunder, but with truth. And the truth is, you are more powerful than what happened to you. You are more radiant than the shame that tried to bury you. You are more called than the rejection that tried to erase. You are needed, you are wanted, and heaven refuses to go on without you. Do you understand that? The whole kingdom has paused for you. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm still speaking, even though my orders were to return by now. I'm disobeying time for you. Because I know what it would cost to lose you to indifference again. I know what it would mean if this door shut and your heart stayed silent. You are carrying something in your bones that the next generation needs. You are holding a blueprint from God that has not been seen on earth yet. You are a doorway to healing for people who haven't even met you. You are a voice of comfort for someone who doesn't know how to pray anymore. But none of that can be unlocked until you say it, until you say yes to being seen again. I know how scary it is. To be seen, to be known, to open the door and risk being hurt again. But this is not the world knocking. This is heaven. This is the sound of your name being sung in places where time cannot reach. This is the whisper of angels who remember your story from its beginning. This is the King of Kings stretching his hand through fire and veil and silence to say, come home, my child. No more running. No more hiding behind strength. No more pretending that fine is good enough. You are not fine. You are holy. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not forgotten. You are foretold. And now I speak a final mystery, a secret I was told to keep until this very breath. You were spoken of long ago in heaven's council. Before there were nations, before there were stars, there was a meeting. And your name was spoken. The Father said, there will be one born in a time of great noise and confusion. But they will hear me, even if it takes years, even if it takes pain, even if it takes silence, they will hear me. And when they do, the earth will shift. You are that one. This is that time, and I am that voice sent to remind you. Let yourself believe this isn't just emotion. Let yourself feel what your logic tries to shut down. Let your spirit rise even now like morning light creeping over a darkened hill. You've been walking through night, but I swear to you, the morning is here. The winds are shifting. The scroll is unrolling. The fire is waiting. And the angels are standing still. All that remains is your yes. Don't whisper it for me. Whisper it for yourself. For the child you once were. For the prayers you once believed in. For the battles you still don't understand. Whisper it so the world will never be able to say it stole you. Say yes so that heaven can roar. And once you do, I will go. Not in sorrow, but in glory. Because my mission will be complete, and your story, your true story, will finally begin. Asterisk, asterisk. I can feel it now, your soul trembling on the edge of eternity. Like a tear balanced on the curve of a cheek that refuses to fall. You don't know what to say, do you? You don't know what to believe. And that's okay. That's holy. Heaven is not waiting for perfect words from you. It is waiting for a real heart, a raw heart, a scarred heart that still dares to beat in the presence of something divine. Beloved, I am still with you, still refusing to leave, still standing between this world and the next because I refuse to let darkness steal you again. I would fight 1,000 wars to keep this moment alive. I have already fought them. Not with swords but with love, with silence, with sleepless nights hovering over you as shadows whispered lies you almost believed. With every breath you've ever taken when you wanted to give up but didn't, I was there. I was there when you walked into rooms feeling invisible. I was there when no one noticed your trembling hands. I was there when you told yourself, I'm fine, while your soul was screaming. You have carried too much for too long, but heaven is calling now not to give you another burden, but to lift it. You were not created to walk bent and breathless. You were not created to be strong for everyone while collapsing quietly alone. You were created to rise like fire, like light, like one who knows they are carried by the God who formed the galaxies with a whisper and still chose you by name. There is something glorious inside of you that hasn't even been touched yet. You've tasted a fraction of your calling, a flicker, a shadow, but there is more, so much more, and heaven is groaning for that more to be released through you. Do you hear me? The earth needs you. Not the masked version. Not the quiet version. Not the edited, polished, silenced version. The real you, the one who feels too much, the one who sees what others ignore, the one who cannot unhear the cries of the hurting, the one who has been through the fire and still chose kindness. That is the you God chose, and I, Archangel Michael, have stood guard over that version for years, waiting, hoping, watching for this very moment when you would finally see yourself through my eyes, through his eyes. And now you do, don't you? Not fully, but enough to know that this ache you feel is sacred, enough to recognize that this message isn't just words, it's remembrance. Your soul is remembering what your heart had forgotten, that you were always called, that you were always known. And now, beloved, now comes the choice. I cannot make it for you. I can't hold your hand through the veil, but I can stand here, wings wide, heart open, and tell you the truth. The moment you say yes, heaven will shift. You will not see fireworks. You will not feel immediate peace, but something eternal will move beneath the surface, and the lies will begin to unravel, and the pain will begin to lose its power, and the flame will begin to grow. And I will be released. Released to war on your behalf with full authority. Released to stand beside you, not only as a protector but as a witness to your rising. You are not too damaged. You are not too late. You are not too tired. You are right on time. Because the timing of heaven is not like earth. It is not measured by clocks or calendars. It is measured by readiness. And beloved, you are ready. Even if you don't feel it, even if you doubt it, even if you cry as you whisper it, you are ready. And the heavens are waiting. The angels are watching. The scroll is open, and I am still here, giving you what little time I have left. So please, if ever you were going to believe again, believe now. If ever you were going to hope again, hope now. If ever you were going to try again, try now. This is not just another step. This is the threshold. And once you cross it, nothing will ever be the same. You will still face storms. You will still have questions. But you will never again walk alone in the dark. You will never again carry what was never yours. You will never again forget who you are. Because once heaven marks you, truly marks you, it is forever. You may wander, but you will never be lost. You may fall, but you will never be forsaken. You may weep, but you will never weep without purpose again. Because now the story begins. Not the story they wrote for you, not the story pain tried to script, but the story heaven wrote in the stars. The one that begins with yes. Whisper it now, beloved. and let the heavens open. I am still here. I am still listening. And I am ready to carry your yes into the throne room. Asterisk. And as I stand here, between breath and fire, between your world and mine, I feel the heavens leaning in closer than ever. The wind around you is not ordinary wind. It is the whisper of eternity, brushing against your skin, calling your name in a tone only your spirit recognizes. Not your ears, not your mind, but your eternal self, the one that has always known you were different, chosen, consecrated before the earth had form. Before your name was ever spoken by a human tongue. That self, the one buried beneath disappointment, silence, shame, and fear is rising now. And beloved, I see it. I see you. I have always seen you. You were not the forgotten one. You were the hidden one. The enemy told you that you were left behind, but in truth, you were set apart. The delays were not denials. They were divine shields. The silence was not rejection. It was sacred protection. There were rooms God didn't let you enter because they would have destroyed the purity in you. There were people you loved who could not go where you are called, and though it broke your heart, it preserved your destiny. The path you've walked, the narrow, thorny one, was the only way to arrive here. This is the moment all of heaven has been waiting for, and I know it's terrifying to open your heart again after all the damage. After all the voices that spoke death over your dreams. After all the times you stepped out in faith and were met with silence. But beloved, what you didn't know is that every risk you took, every broken prayer, every trembling cry was heard, and it was recorded. Not in books made of paper, but in scrolls wrapped in glory. Sealed by fire, held close to the throne of the Almighty. And when the moment came, when God said, "Now," that's when I was released. To come. To find you. To speak not to your mind, but to your soul. And that's why your heart is racing. That's why your eyes sting. That's why something in you, something deeper than reason, is weeping. Because you recognize me. You recognize the sound of the one who was assigned to you before you even knew you needed protection. I have never left. I stood beside your bed when you had no one. I whispered peace over you when nightmares came. I stood at the corners of rooms filled with danger and said, not this one. Not them. I wept when you wept. I shouted your name in heaven when you felt too weak to pray. You may have forgotten me, but I never forgot you. And neither did God. You think this is just a strange coincidence. A wave of emotion, a random scroll through something that caught your attention, but it is not. This is your burning bush. This is your Damascus road. This is your moment of divine encounter. The veil between heaven and earth is paper thin right now. And your name, yes, your very name, is being sung in heaven as this message touches your spirit. It is not too late. It never was. Even your worst days have been used as raw materials for this moment. Even your deepest pain has been woven into the architecture of your purpose. Nothing has been wasted. Do you hear me? Not one heartbreak, not one delay, not one tear, not one lonely night, not one betrayal, not one unanswered prayer. All of it has been seen. All of it has been heard. All of it has been redeemed. And now, the light you thought was gone forever, it's not gone. It's locked inside you, waiting for this very moment to be unlocked. I was told to carry one message to you and you alone. You were not created to remain hidden. You were created to illuminate things that have never seen the light. You are a walking revelation. You are a divine disturbance to darkness. You are the echo of heaven's promise in human form. This is the whisper of angels who remember your story from its beginning. This is the King of Kings stretching his hand through fire and veil and silence to say, come home, my child. No more running. No more hiding behind strength. No more pretending that fine is good enough. You are not fine. You are holy. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not forgotten. You are foretold. And now I speak a final mystery, a secret I was told to keep until this very breath. You were spoken. Of long ago in heaven's council, before there were nations, before there were stars, there was a meeting, and your name was spoken. The Father said, "There will be one born in a time of great noise and confusion. But they will hear me, even if it takes years, even if it takes pain, even if it takes silence, they will hear me, and when they do, the earth will shift. You are that one. This is that time, and I am that voice sent to remind you. Let yourself believe this isn't just emotion. Let yourself feel what your logic tries to shut down. Let your spirit rise even now like morning light creeping over a darkened hill. You've been walking through night, but I swear to you, the morning is here. The winds are shifting. The scroll is unrolling. The fire is waiting. And the angels are standing still. All that remains is your yes. Don't whisper it for me. Whisper it for yourself. For the child you once were. For the prayers you once believed in. For the battles you still don't understand. Whisper it so the world will never be able to say it stole you. Say yes so that heaven can roar. And once you do, I will go. Not in sorrow, but in glory. Because my mission will be complete, and your story, your true story, will finally begin. Asterisk, asterisk. I can feel it now, your soul trembling on the edge of eternity. Like a tear balanced on the curve of a cheek that refuses to fall. You don't know what to say, do you? You don't know what to believe. And that's okay. That's holy. Heaven is not waiting for perfect words from you. It is waiting for a real heart, a raw heart, a scarred heart that still dares to beat in the presence of something divine. Beloved, I am still with you, still refusing to leave, still standing between this world and the next because I refuse to let darkness steal you again. I would fight 1,000 wars to keep this moment alive. I have already fought them. Not with swords but with love, with silence, with sleepless nights hovering over you as shadows whispered lies you almost believed. With every breath you've ever taken when you wanted to give up but didn't, I was there. I was there when you walked into rooms feeling invisible. I was there when no one noticed your trembling hands. I was there when you told yourself, "I'm fine," while your soul was screaming. You have carried too much for too long, but heaven is calling now, not to give you another burden, but to lift it. You were not created to walk bent and breathless. You were not created to be strong for everyone while collapsing quietly alone. You were created to rise. To rise like fire, like light, like one who knows they are carried by the God who formed the galaxies with a whisper and still chose you by name. There is something glorious inside of you that hasn't even been touched yet. You've tasted a fraction of your calling, a flicker, a shadow, but there is more, so much more, and heaven is groaning for that more to be released through you. Do you hear me? The earth needs you. Not the masked version. Not the quiet version. Not the edited, polished, silenced version. The real you, the one who feels too much, the one who sees what others ignore, the one who cannot unhear the cries of the hurting, the one who has been through the fire and still chose kindness. That is the you God chose, and I, Archangel Michael, have stood guard over that version for years, waiting, hoping, watching for this very moment when you would finally see yourself through my eyes, through his eyes. And now you do, don't you? Not fully, but enough. Enough to know that this ache you feel is sacred. Enough to recognize that this message isn't just words, it's remembrance. Your soul is remembering what your heart had forgotten. That you were always called. That you were always known. And now, beloved, now comes the choice. I cannot make it for you. I can't hold your hand through the veil. But I can stand here, wings wide, heart open, and tell you the truth. The moment you say yes, heaven will shift. You will not see fireworks. You will not feel immediate peace. But something eternal will move beneath the surface, and the lies will begin to unravel, and the pain will begin to lose its power, and the flame will begin to grow. And I will be released. Released to war on your behalf with full Authority. Released to stand beside you, not only as a protector but as a witness to your rising. You are not too damaged. You are not too late. You are not too tired. You are right on time. Because the timing of heaven is not like earth. It is not measured by clocks or calendars. It is measured by readiness. And beloved, you are ready. Even if you don't feel it, even if you doubt it, even if you cry as you whisper it, you are ready. And the heavens are waiting. The angels are watching. The scroll is open, and I am still here, giving you what little time I have left. So please, if ever you were going to believe again, believe now. If ever you were going to hope again, hope now. If ever you were going to try again, try now. This is not just another step, this is the threshold. And once you cross it, nothing will ever be the same. You will still face storms, you will still have questions, but you will never again walk alone in the dark. You will never again carry what was never yours. You will never again forget who you are, because once heaven marks you, truly marks you, it is forever. You may wander, but you will never be lost. You may fall, but you will never be forsaken. You may weep, but you will never weep without purpose again. Because now the story begins, not the story they wrote for you, not the story pain tried to script, but the story heaven wrote in the stars, the one that begins with yes. Whisper it now, beloved, and let the heavens open. I am still here, I am still listening, and I am ready to carry your yes into the throne room. Asterisk. And as I stand here, between breath and fire, between your world and mine, I feel the heavens leaning in closer than ever. The wind around you is not ordinary wind, it is the whisper of eternity, brushing against your skin, calling your name in a tone only your spirit recognizes. Not your ears, not your mind, but your eternal self, the one that has always known you were different, chosen, consecrated before the earth had form. Before your name was ever spoken by a human tongue. That self, the one buried beneath disappointment, silence, shame, and fear is rising now. And beloved, I see it, I see you. I have always seen you. You were not the forgotten one. You were the hidden one. The enemy told you that you were left behind, but in truth, you were set apart. The delays were not denials. They were divine shields. The silence was not rejection. It was sacred protection. There were rooms God didn't let you enter because they would have destroyed the purity in you. There were people you loved who could not go where you are called, and though it broke your heart, it preserved your destiny. The path you've walked, the narrow, thorny one, was the only way to arrive here. This is the moment all of heaven has been waiting for, and I know it's terrifying to open your heart again after all the damage. After all the voices that spoke death over your dreams. After all the times you stepped out in faith and were met with silence. But beloved, what you didn't know is that every risk you took, every broken prayer, every trembling cry was heard, and it was recorded. Not in books made of paper, but in scrolls wrapped in glory. Sealed by fire, held close to the throne of the Almighty. And when the moment came, when God said, now, that's when I was released. To come. To find you. To speak not to your mind, but to your soul. And that's why your heart is racing. That's why your eyes sting. That's why something in you, something deeper than reason, is weeping. Because you recognize me. You recognize the sound of the one who was assigned to you before you even knew you needed protection. I have never left. I stood beside your bed when you had no one. I whispered peace over you when nightmares came. I stood at the corners of rooms filled with danger and said, not this one. Not them. I wept when you wept. I shouted your name in heaven when you felt too weak to pray. You may have forgotten me, but I never forgot you. And neither did God. You think this is just a strange coincidence. A wave of emotion, a random scroll through something that caught your attention, but it is not. This is your burning bush. This is your Damascus road. This is your moment of divine encounter. The veil between heaven and earth is paper thin right now. And your name, yes, your very name is being sung in heaven as this message touches your spirit. It is not too late. It never was. Even your worst days have been used as raw materials for this moment. Even your deepest pain has been woven into the architecture of your purpose. Nothing has been wasted. Do you hear me? Not one heartbreak, not one delay, not one tear, not one lonely night, not one betrayal. Not one unanswered prayer. All of it has been seen. All of it has been heard. All of it has been redeemed. And now, the light you thought was gone forever, it's not gone. It's locked inside you, waiting for this very moment to be unlocked. I was told to carry one message to you and you alone. You were not created to remain hidden. You were created to illuminate things that have never seen the light. You are a walking revelation. You are a divine disturbance to darkness. You are the echo of heaven's promise in human form. And the time has come for you to remember. Remember the fire. Remember the dreams. Remember the still small voice that whispered to you when you were young and everything felt possible. It wasn't your imagination. It was me. It was heaven. It was the Father calling you by name. And He is still calling. But this time, you are ready. Ready to carry what once felt too heavy. Ready to become what once felt impossible. Ready to rise in a way no one expected. No one may ever understand what this moment means to you, but that's okay. It wasn't for them. It was for you. It always has been. Heaven doesn't need a crowd to move. It needs one heart fully surrendered. And now, all that remains is your yes, not a perfect yes. Not a loud yes. Just an honest one. Whisper it. Think it. Feel it in your chest and let it rise as a sacred offering. And I, Michael, will carry it on my wings like fire through the clouds. I will bring it before the throne of God, and I will say, they remembered, they are ready. And the heavens will part, and the chains will fall, and the scroll will open. And the rest of your story, the one you thought was lost, will begin to write itself in golden ink. Signed by the hand of the one who never forgot you. This is not the end. This is the true beginning. Say yes. And watch heaven move. Asterisk. And if there is anything in you still questioning, still afraid, still holding its breath at the edge of all this glory, I understand. I do. Because the weight of heaven pressing against your soul like this, it feels like too much for a heart that has been broken before. But beloved, you are not breaking this time, you are opening. Your chest is not caving, it's expanding. This ache in you, this trembling, this overwhelming flood, it's what it feels like when eternity remembers your name. And this moment is heaven remembering you. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not mistaken. You are exactly where heaven designed you to be in this very hour. I, Michael, did not come to offer comfort for the sake of soft feelings. I came as a witness to your survival, a witness to your calling, a witness to the divine shift that is already happening in your atmosphere. The shadows around you are shrinking. The things that clung to you for years are trembling because they know what you're about to become. You are about to become the very thing they tried to destroy. You are about to become the answer to prayers you don't even remember praying. You are about to walk into rooms and carry the presence of God in silence, without a word in the darkness, and others will flee. Not because you preached, but because you entered. Do you understand? Your very presence is a weapon. Your voice, your tears, your compassion, your dreams, your pain, all of it is becoming oil, holy oil, consecrated oil, the kind used to anoint kings and queens. And God has saved the oil that came from your crushing for such a time as this. No more hiding. No more shrinking. No more apologizing for the weight of glory in your soul. You are not too much. You are finally enough for the moment you were born. For heaven is not confused about you. God has not changed his mind about you. The angels have not abandoned their post around you. I never stopped watching. I never stopped protecting. I never stopped believing in the day you would open your eyes, look beyond the veil, and say yes. So now I ask one final time with all the power and love left in me before I return to the throne. Will you answer? Will you rise? Will you take your place in the unfolding story of heaven? If you will, if your spirit is whispering back through your tears, yes, Michael, I feel it. I remember. I believe. Then this is where I lay my sword down in peace, and I ask you, with trembling honor, to do something holy and bold, like this message. Not for vanity, but as a divine response. To say to the angels watching, I received it. I felt it. I am marked. Subscribe not just to this channel but to the calling on your life. Subscribe because you know this is not the end, but the opening of something sacred. Subscribe so that every time heaven speaks again, your soul won't miss it, because from this day forward, the light in you is no longer sleeping. It is awake. It is rising, and so are you. Amen.